Hey everybody, the Johnny Cage here, opening this FNS like it's my own actual movie clip thing. But anyhow, I'm joined tonight by Dilly DV, as usual. What are you playing right now, Dilly?
I'm playing Suikoden 2, and I should be playing Azure Dreams, but I forgot about it.
Awesome. That's more than enough from you. Genray, what's up with you? How are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm glorious. How are you, Johnny?
I'm doing just fine. And what are you playing for the people? Sure.
I'm playing Final Fantasy V, and I'm finishing Breath of Fire 2.
Thank God.
Wow, that's certainly a task. And now we move to Mr. Utorai, who's always here. What have you been playing lately, Utorai?
I'm playing Digimon. I'm actually doing that right now. I probably shouldn't be.
Well, it's too late. And I really enjoy your Fallout 3 videos, by the way. Lots of fun to watch.
Thank you.
Unless you're wasting your ammo, which is what you do constantly.
But
anyway,
I have to blow people's faces off, Johnny.
I suppose you do, occasionally. Anyhow, going down the line, we got B-Dude, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. And what have you been up to lately, B-Dude? Just started Final Fantasy VIII a few days ago.
Yep, blind run on that one, and as well working through Tales of Phantasia. I'm about halfway through that one as well.
Awesome. And we are joined, our special guest tonight, Mr. Ryan Phoenix. You can find him on all of our channels, in our boxes. He's been one of the best commenters that any LPer could wish for. He just started LPing Vandal Hearts. How are your first experiences in the LP community, Ryan? How's it going?
I'm enjoying it so far there. I'm glad to be part of the Friday Night Skype tonight here.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you. So I guess our first question that we're going to talk about tonight is software that we use, emulators, video capturing, editing tools. Everyone, it's probably the one thing that a lot of us get comments and personal messages about. So does anyone have any stories, any kind of trials and tribulations they've had with recording software in the past? Dilly, what do you got for us?
Well, you know me, I got my information from you, mostly, and I followed your route, and I was using Hypercam for a little bit. I used Hypercam 2, which worked out okay. I wasn't particularly happy with it, but the one thing I did like about the Hypercam is that after you got done recording, it would throw everything into its own folder and own browser. Mm-hmm. Or I think the third one did that. And then I moved up to Camtasia, which was like a whole new world. And I remember between Hypercam 3 and Camtasia, Hypercam 3 would you could upload it directly from there, as does Camtasia. And that was a good, leap going from Hypercam 2 to Hypercam 3 to then jumping to Camtasia with its annotations and its audio, and you can actually do your own voiceover. You don't have to do it during the recording, which is nice. And they actually have a picture-in-picture mode, too, to record your reactions, which is nice. I haven't done that yet. If I ever come to a part that's ridiculous, I'm sure I'll start recording my face.
Yeah, that's one thing I really like about it, because I mostly do post-commentary, and the fact that I don't have to have the sound going from my speakers into my microphone when I record, so I can actually move around and do other things rather than having to sit perfectly still as I play the game. That is a very much an added feature for me. But, so I think we all pretty much use Camtasia, because friends help each other out, and we've all got Camtasia now.
Not everyone.
That's true. We have a Mac user amongst us. So,
yes.
Dude, how about you tell us a little bit about your setup?
Well, I use what's called ScreenFlow, which is Mac exclusive. And basically it can capture your screen. You can also do that picture-in-picture thing like what Dilly was doing. And afterwards, you can also edit inside that software, and it shows all the layers and such, and you can do borders and whatever else that you can do. The only thing you can't do in it is add extra effects, which you don't really need to do anyways as far as LPing goes. And I'm talking about explosions and sparkles and all that junk that I don't think we really have any use for, do we?
Not necessarily. Although I'd like to get into more of those type of videos. If I was something just really over the top, I used to do a really old series called Nintendo Power Time Machine that some people are probably still subscribed to me for because they hope that I'll do another one. And believe me, I will. I promise all of you that actually know what I'm talking about. I will do another one, but I haven't done it in 9 months, probably. But I really want to get around to that. It's just a lot of work that I have to put into it, reviewing an entire old issue of Nintendo Power, and then adding in video game footage of the articles being presented and syncing it all up. It can be a lot of work, but I promise I will get around to another one of those eventually.
I have a question for you about that, Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever gotten a request to do a specific issue in Nintendo Power?
I don't think so. People have asked me if I have certain issues of them. Like, I did the Super Metroid issue, I think it was the last one I did, and that's a pretty popular issue. But I don't have a lot of them. I started not collecting them, just subscribing to them in, like, the middle of 94, and then I think I was subscribed to them until, like, the middle of 99, like, right as the N64 was becoming really popular. So, and I don't have a lot of those issues anymore. Of all those issues, I think I probably only have about maybe 30 of them left. But, planning on going to MegFest this year, and I know people have said that they have vendors that sell old issues of Nintendo Power that are probably much, much better condition than the issues that I have. So I will definitely plan on getting a few of those there if I have the time and the money and find the right guy.
How much does Nintendo Powers go for? I mean, aren't those, like, considered like a retro item now?
Not really. I mean, you can get them really cheap. I mean, they're not super old. I forget when they started coming out with them. I want to say, like, 1990? Mario Brothers 2 was the very first, like, cover feature was on Mario Brothers 2. I know that much. But
I wonder how much issue number 1 is.
you can get it pretty cheap. You probably pay, like, only like $20 most for it.
So they're not like collectible items where you can, have the whole
They're collectible, but they were made in such mass quantities, and it's still a magazine that's going today, unlike a lot of other video game magazines. So I think that...
Oh, I didn't know it was still in production. I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they still make them today. I haven't been subscribed to them for a long time, obviously, but if you want to get it, you can get that. I also had PlayStation Magazine for a year, and that was really fun, because that was when the PS2 had first come out, and they gave out demo discs with each issue every month, which I thought was awesome, a great way of getting your product out there, because you had so many games you could play. I probably played just the demo for Twisted Metal 2, like, so many freaking times, and it's only the first stage, and I do think you get a select from any of the vehicles, though, but man, I really want to buy that game one of these days. It's expensive, though. As popular of a game as it is, it's pretty expensive. I don't know.
Well, I just found Nintendo Power issue 1 on eBay for $35.
Yeah, on eBay. You could probably get it cheaper, really. That's the eBay price. But, I'd pay like $30 for it, probably, if I found it for that much. In really good condition, like near mint condition, though. But, anyhow, that's Nintendo Power for you. Awesome magazine to have back in the day, because we didn't have things like the Internet.
It was Primer
kids and your
Guide.
internet
Dude, Tim, kids, and the Internet.
out there.
You didn't get nowhere unless you had the power. All right, that's the bottom
Or
line.
just a lot of time.
A whole hell of a lot of time. Like I said, when I did my Legend of Zelda LP, anyone that discovered some of those really hidden away things in the original Legend of Zelda, for instance, and my God, I just hats off to them, because that is insane. Just to find your way around in that open world, my God.
Anybody who finished Simon's Quest without cheating?
Oh,
That's
They're a
true.
liar.
Yes, you have to kneel against a wall for 5 seconds while having something particular equipped, and then wait for a tornado to come sweep you away to the next area. Yeah, that's
Logic says a tornado should appear if I kneel at this mountain.
So, Ryan Phoenix, what do you use? I come to think of it, I don't know what you use or
Oh,
how
I
you
use
even
that.
record.
I use Camtasia Studio, and then I use Audacity for my voiceover to record that, because I like recording it separately, so I can play around with that, the volume and everything.
Yeah. I should probably look into better stuff than just using Windows Sound Recorder to record post commentary. It's as ghetto as you get, but I mean, it's decent quality. I can't complain. The only thing that I really want to change for the cheap is just to get a headset, so I don't have kind of the echoey coming back kind of sound.
Well, Audacity is free, so...
Yeah.
But Camtasia, you can do all that in the audio in Camtasia. You can delete background noise. You can enhance, male and female voices.
Yeah, I played around with that. I didn't notice that much of a difference in the enhancing the voice feature, but
I noticed a big difference in the background. It does make a difference.
because I got a program called I forget. It's got a really weird name to it too, but it just makes your voice stand out more. Noxus Bulgar gave it to me. And not to say that's what makes his voice such the Morgan Freeman of LPers like he is. But he said, there's a major difference. I started using it, halfway through my Mario RPG, videos, and he said that there was a major difference in them, and I haven't heard that from anyone else, but I'll take his word for it, I guess.
Well, he's probably the one who knows what to look for.
Yeah. Oh, he knows a lot about the technical aspect of it, that's for sure.
So how many of us are knowledgeable in the recording software tech, huh? Does anyone have like a degree to talk about this?
If I would have taken a video editing class earlier in my college career, I probably would have majored in video editing. But it was literally the last elective that I took in my entire college career, and I'm just like, oh, no, it's too late now. Really
What's
fun.
you again, Ray? You're old.
Oh, thanks.
You're old. You must know things.
Johnny's retarded.
There's no winning.
No,
You're getting
honestly, I started using basically the SNES 9X emulator has the feature where it will record the game footage for you, which is kind of awkward because it mutes the sound and it necessarily lags for no reason. But the footage itself is not lagged, so like you can't do. It's hard to do live commentary like that when you're seeing the game slow down, but it's not really. So.
That's true. That's why I like doing stuff in post, because there just seems like there's so much that can go wrong doing it live that it's just easier for me to do that. Also, for me to collect my thoughts, and if I want to just go off on a rant and talk about something completely non-video game related, it's easier to do that way, I feel.
Wait, what do you mean things that go wrong when you're live commentating? What do you
Well,
mean?
you might have lag, you might have syncing issues. I mean, stuff that could probably be
Oh,
taken
I thought you
care
meant
of.
I thought you meant like physically commentating, like I broke my leg. Oh, hold on, guys.
Hopefully it's not that physical, but a good segue question that I just thought up was, what led you guys to choose the first game that you LP'd? Like, what was your reasoning behind, like, this is the first game I'm going to do? And how about B-Dude? B-Dude started off.
Why did I pick Final Fantasy IV? Probably because I knew that game pretty darn well, and I don't know, didn't really have to think about what I was doing, so I could kind of try to get into a groove, which still took me like 3 LPs later. But hey, it was a milestone.
Something. I mean, it's a great game. You can't go wrong starting with that. That's for sure. Well, I guess we know what Ryan and Dilly's first LP ever was.
Right. Yeah.
So the question doesn't exactly apply. I don't know what Genra, yours was Mega Man X, wasn't it?
Yeah, yes it was.
My Mega Man brother.
Honestly, it was the reason I got into Let's Playing in the first place is I was watching this guy, White Mage Serenia, and he was playing it, and I was like, "Oh, this sounds like a cool idea. I've got free time. I should." And I put it off, in the back of my head for a couple days, and then I was at the computer playing Mega Man X, and I, was looking at it, and I hit the thing that said record, and I just recorded the whole thing in like a sitting. And then I waited till later when everybody was asleep because that microphone picked up everything and did commentary after it and was like, you know what, I'll post this on YouTube and see what everybody thinks. And nobody cared.
And you were like one of the many who thought that instantly I'm going to have 1,000 subscribers.
No, not even that. I was
Love
just
it.
expecting somebody to be like, hey, this is good. But no, nobody cared.
Well, that's why it might have been a good idea for me to start with Pokemon, because everyone loves Pokemon.
Oh yeah, I hear that, Johnny. That was a good choice on my part too.
I don't know, I don't care for Pokemon that much.
Well, you're in the
I don't
minority.
care.
You
Yeah.
should probably die in a fire. That's
Why,
all.
thank you.
Should. Yes.
Probably. I only chose that first because my major influence for getting into LPing was Nintendo Capri Sun, who's an awesome guy. I only live like 3 hours away from him, and I thought, well, someday I hope I could meet him. Maybe we'll meet him at MakeFest. Hopefully we will. But I noticed that I had the Visual Boy Advance emulator, and that's what he used. And then he's like, well, you can record directly off of this in AVI format. And I'm like, holy crap, really? So I just started recording that, and it wasn't the most reliable thing. Like, I would have videos that just wouldn't come out, or they'd be corrupt when I pushed the end record button. But, it was something, and it was lots of fun. And it was Pokemon Leaf Green, and I, of course, grew up in, 6th grade playing Pokemon Blue. So I'm like, here's a game that I know really well, and I can play it. And I got a lot of people telling me that it was good because I wasn't just, like, this average, ridiculous 12-year-old that was playing Pokemon. I was a 25-year-old playing Pokemon, which, comes across as being...
man play Pokemon.
comes across as such a better situation to find yourself in. But that was lots of fun to do, and I'm not done with Pokemon either. There will be more Pokemon in the future. I just don't know when yet, but You know, people can give Pokemon as hard of their time as they want, but it's a solid RPG when it comes down to it. So
I'll get around to Pokemon eventually.
that's all I got to say about that.
I'll be
And the
starting
words
a
of-
new Pokemon eventually too. Pokemon Heart Gold, I think, is what I'll do.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's been so long since I actually played a Pokemon game. How about you, Ryan Phoenix? You must get a lot of Pokemon stuff from all your kids.
Oh, a little bit here and there. Like they watch the cartoon.
Yeah.
For those watching there, I actually have 4 kids. For those listening in.
You probably tell them, back in my day, this cartoon used to be good.
Back in the day, that's right.
This is a terrible cartoon. Watch other
Ash has
stuff.
been a Pokemon trainer for decades, and he still doesn't know what the hell he's doing.
He's
And he's
trying
still
to do it.
12!
And he's
Or does
still-
that actually grow up?
It would be so weird if Pokemon were real. That would just be such a crazy world to live in. It's like, well, you're 12 years old. Here's some Pokeballs. Now go out into the world and capture some Pokemon.
That'd
You
be
know,
awesome, Johnny.
Speaking of things that would blow your mind if they're real, Digimon are real.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds retarded, Dilly. You probably should
No.
have said that out loud.
No, look, okay, they live in a digital world, okay? Alright? They live in, the whole premise of
Okay,
Digimon is they live in a
Dilly,
digital
you
world.
can't explain my theory. Let me do it.
Okay, I'm
By,
sorry.
by the canon of the Digimon show, all they are...
Oh, God, we're getting into canon now. Jesus
All they...
Christ.
Shut up, John. Shut up. All they are is code on a computer. In real life, all they are is code on a computer. Therefore, they match up with the canon, and therefore Digimon are real.
That's very retarded of you, Otorai.
Yeah, that's
Moving
pretty
right
retarded.
along.
It's not retarded. I mean, it's just that. It's not like you could fucking pull them out of computers and shit. No, that's retarded, but...
That's going too far. Everything else makes perfect sense, though.
They are real in real life. They are what they are in the anime. As far as I remember, last I remembered, it was established. All it is code in a computer.
Lots of ones and zeros.
Lots of binary. Anyhow, I had this theory that Pokemon, if they were real, someday they just get out of control with how big they are, and it would kind of turn into like Starship Troopers. That's what I thought. And we'd all make like machine guns, and like there would be like Skythers that looked like those bug enemies, and in freaking Starship Troopers and the giant beetles, and they just like totally destroy us because we won't be able to control them anymore.
Yeah,
World
speaking of
War
Starship
III
Troopers,
Pokemon.
Starship Troopers, there were some great set of titties in that movie, let me tell you.
That's what everyone saw the movie for. I don't know. It's got NPH. Everyone loves Neil Patrick Harris. Amazing guy. Dr. Horrible sing-along blog. If you haven't seen it, you got to see that.
I've heard great things about that. Is it really just a sing-along, or what's going on?
It's a musical.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's got Nathan Fillion, who was the Captain Malcolm in Firefly.
Oh, that's right. Oh man.
Plays Captain Hammer. It's awesome. Like you should. And, Joss Wheaton, who
Joss Wheaton.
made it.
Wheaton.
Joss Wheaton. Will Wheaton. Will Wheaton. Anyhow, but yeah, that's how I've always thought about Pokemon. It would be really weird if it was real. Like going into the Viridian Forest. Like there are so many Pokemon in those trees. There'd be nothing but corpses of dead Pokemon everywhere and his bones. It'd be absolutely terrifying to be in a place like that.
Just walk on the street, throw a Pokeball at someone's dog.
The legality.
Mine now!
Oh man. So
See,
how,
Beedrill would be a serious problem. Imagine how many people would be allergic to Beedrill and like how many cases they'd have to deal with.
probably too many.
It's called natural selection, Dilly. We just
They-
need to get over it.
We would need Ekans and Arbok anti-venom.
Probably. You can only hope so.
The logistics of real-life Pokemon are ridiculous. Everybody would at least, like, handguns would be a requirement. No longer a right. It would now be a requirement of everybody. And just in case.
You have
it
the
gotta
right
be-
to bear arms.
Man mauled by wild Growlithe.
Well, everyone would just be mugging each other and stealing each other's Pokemon. There wouldn't be any sort of Pokemon competition at all. Team Rocket would be a violent, organized criminal organization.
They already are. What are you talking about?
Switchblade, I choose you.
Switchblade. Now the winner's the first one that pulls a knife. Things have really changed.
What's the Team Rocket? Nope. It's just Team, give me your Pokemon or I'll cut you.
Oh, man. So, enough about Pokemon. B-Dude, how are you enjoying Final Fantasy VIII? It's a game that I hate with a passion.
Well, in that case, it's pretty interesting so far. I mean, I'm still kind of going through the tutorial stuff, so I think I picked up most I'm going to need to know. Other than I haven't played the card game yet. But as far as like all the stat
Oh, yeah,
building
that's
and
the
such
card game.
go, I should be good, and it's time to pwn face.
Well, considering how hard you have it out for Final Fantasy VII and it being the worst game of all time, I'm sure that you'll find enjoyment in this one.
I didn't say that. I just said it really
No,
terrible
you didn't
until
have
like
to say
the third
it. You don't have to say
disc.
nothing. We heard you loud and clear from Canada, buddy.
Did you figure out how to break the game in like the first 40 minutes?
No, but I don't really want to.
I didn't even know you could break the game in the first 40 minutes, but
Oh, I'm totally going to when I get there. Don't worry.
okay. I'm not worried.
I did read that comment though,
The drawing
so I
magic?
didn't know how to.
No. Well, Genray, speaking of Final Fantasy, you're playing Final Fantasy V.
Oh yeah.
How are you enjoying that one?
Oh, it's just as as I remember it.
I love the job system in that game, though. It's so much fun to play around with. The mixing and matching is just so fun. It's addicting almost.
Aside from Blue Mage, I don't feel any different than if I played any other Final Fantasy up until this day.
This is true.
Because there's nothing new yet. It's like, oh, look, here's the same 6 job classes you've had pretty much your entire career as a Final Fantasy player. Oh, and here's Blue Mage.
Well, don't worry. Soon enough, you'll have a team full of dancers, and then it will all seem worthwhile.
Oh, I answered that question about the learning that Turnips Bro Radish asked. I don't know if you saw that, Genry.
No.
About if Butts gets hit with a spell and he has learning on, and then you make Ferris a blue mage, does she know that spell?
Is that how it works?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like bind magic. As soon as someone knows it, everyone knows it.
All right, so everybody knows Goblin Punch then. Okay.
Yeah.
I should go back to that shrine, and I can't do that now, but there's apparently more blue magic in there you could possibly learn, but it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah,
Magic
there's
a really
like
big deal.
there's like 3 of them you can get right off the bat or something.
Well, there should be. I mean, considering you have Blue Mage right from the get-go, it makes sense.
Well, technically, you don't get the job until you're out of that dungeon.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never used really Blue Mages or like the enemy skill materia from Final Fantasy VII or any of that stuff at all. I just haven't really found it worth it. Or Kimari, learning enemy skills in Final Fantasy X. Just never bothered with it.
Kamari needs like 4 skills, and that's it.
Yeah, that's just it. For like every good one, there's like 10 crappy ones, it always feels like,
Deathclaw is pretty sweet when it works.
when it works.
When it
Like-
works.
60%
Bad Breath,
time,
White
all
Wind.
time.
That's all you need, really. And one super heavy damage one. That's
And
it.
Big Guard. Big Guard's always a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, anything from a Marlboro, that's got to be good for you, right?
I will
It's a
throw
se-
every
secret
status
joke.
ailment at you, period.
We're going to have a good time now. Now that you're a sleeping frog that's poisoned and spinning in circles, let's
and
continue
is,
the battle.
and is a midget pig as well.
And there's a midget pig as well. You know what?
A
You should,
midget
just,
pig frog.
you should probably just reset the entire console
Deserved
right now.
Pissed midget frog.
Half midget, half pig frog.
Man, bear.
It's a midget pig frog. I told you it exists. I told you.
Oh. And we have digressed. Hooray.
Johnny always being on target. Never allowed to segue off into random South Park or
You shut up. You
even
go to hell.
Anchorman. Yeah.
You,
Let's just start
you shut
the
your
insult.
dirty whore mouth, all right?
I'll punch you right in the ovary.
Don't make me shoot you in the back of the head with a BB gun.
Pirate
I have nothing wrong with his dirty whore mouth.
B-Dude likes it. B-Dude enjoys the
He
dirtiness.
enjoys a lot of weird stuff. He's from Canada. He likes Canadian bacon and milk in a bag. You don't know how to explain it.
Speaking
He
of
does.
bacon.
What?
Huh? I don't know what you're talking about.
Milk in a bag?
What? Totally Canadian thing.
Evaporated milk? What?
Huh? I don't believe you. Anyhow.
Oh, God.
Does this make me an evil person if I don't answer the phone who is my mother-in-law because I'm doing a Friday night Skype?
I think that's perfectly...
Yes, it
that's
does.
fine.
Okay, then screw it.
Wait. That makes him an evil person, Genray?
Yes, it does.
So you talk to your stepmom? Or mother-in-law?
I am entirely not concerned about his feelings about the matter.
There just needs to be an increase in stepmom talking or in-law talking.
In-law, yeah.
Brian, do you like talking to your in-laws?
Oh, I get along great with my in-laws, so that's not a problem.
So you dress up like Stay Puft Marshmallow Man and take your kid out
That's right,
trick-or-treating as Ghostbusters. 'Cause that is awesome. Truly an awesome dad thing to do. So
Or
Debbie,
you
pop
make them
them like...
a custom Hyrulean shield. I want a Hyrulean shield.
Everyone wants a
I'll get right on that for you, Dilly.
So have you
I wanna
bought them
look.
all of the shows from your past, and you have them sit down and watch them religiously on DVD? It's like, and now we're going to watch the whole first season of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
They do have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I have the Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
Oh, really? Wow, that's really old. Like, I hardly remember any of that myself.
Oh, yeah.
Do the Mario.
Swing arms from side to side. Yeah, that's... I was going to put that in the end of my Mario RPG LP. That would have been really funny.
Oh, that would have been great. Shame on you for not doing it now.
Well, the whole thing
Right,
broke
right.
down on me. It's a long story, whatever. I'm not even going to bother with it. No, on Friday Night Skype, we need to talk about exciting things like, I don't know, help me out here, guys.
It seems that, honestly, everybody at some point is going to have, like, where one of their games breaks down. Like, I had the same thing happen with the ending for Final Fantasy III. It
Well,
was just like, no, I'm not working. Hell
It
with you.
was weird because I've been allowed to put up stuff for 15 minutes forever, but then when I was putting up the finale of Mario RPG, it said you can't put up stuff that's over 15 minutes.
That's
for
right. The
some
same
reason.
thing. Same thing happened to me at the exact same time with my Suikoden. It was episode 12. It was part 12. It was like 15 minutes. It were 18 minutes long. I was like, oh, this is kind of long. I was like, oh, it doesn't matter. I signed up for the 15-minute, whatever. And then then I get denied. And Johnny's like, oh, that happened to me too. I was like, well, I hope they don't think I'm Johnny. I'm not retarded.
Yeah, they don't want to think of me. I'm totally retarded. Shut the hell up.
No, retarded or
Stop.
hairy, huh, Billy?
Where'd I
Okay,
get Robin Williams Harry from? Not Robin Williams Harry, for the love of God. I'm gonna have another beer.
See what you've done, Dilly? You drove him to drink.
Oh yeah, it sure is real hard to get Johnny to drink a beer. All you gotta do is think Johnny drink a beer, and he's already got one in his mouth.
On a Friday night, it's pretty much a given.
All right.
Well, I'm drinking my beer. Talk amongst yourselves.
We all need that given. I think Genray has something to say.
Well, I was thinking of, we're supposed to be discussing games, and we usually end up going off on wild tangents about Johnny's retardation and my oldness. But I was thinking, everyone has that one game that they played they really, really like, and they wish there was another one, but there never was. So what game would you like to see a sequel for? Not a remake, a sequel.
I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
I mean, just because I think in a lot of people's eyes, Chrono Cross was a bit of a letdown, probably just because it didn't really have a lot to do with Chrono Trigger.
Yeah.
But I think it's awesome. I still love Chrono Cross. I got that game because my brother took WrestleMania 2000 for the N64 and left it over at a friend's house. I never got it back. So to pay me back, I guess he told my mom, and they got me Chrono Cross, and I really got into that game. Still got the strategy guide. Definitely gonna LP that someday. That game was awesome. Just the fact that at the end you had like 30 plus party members to choose from. So much fun.
Go ahead, Dylan.
I know you guys. I've never heard of this game, and I talked about it a lot. I really wanted a sequel to The Last Remnant because not only was it a great game, but they left it open. Of all things to do, to leave a game open and then not do a sequel. I mean, there's talk. I've read some forums and I've heard talk of a sequel, but as far as I'm concerned, it'll never frickin' happen. And it's such a letdown. Oh, it's such a letdown. Like
That game's not even that old, is it?
No, I think it's like an 08 or 09 game.
Yeah, so I don't think it really counts because there's still time.
Yeah, there's still room for a sequel there.
Yeah,
That's like,
within reason. But considering it's a game that not many people have heard of, I don't know. Wouldn't hold my breath on that one.
It's a very rare Square Enix game that nobody. I bet that doesn't have a sequel. To be honest with you.
No, that happens.
One of the main ones I keep hearing is Legend of Dragoon.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That one definitely needs more attention.
That's a great example of a game that I had on a demo disc that I played the hell out of, and never got around to actually buying it. And I know it's a cult classic now. I think I saw it at an anime convention like a couple of years ago, going for like $50 or $60 probably.
Yeah, far more expensive than it should be.
Yeah, I wish I could buy more Dreamcast games. I mean, Dreamcast games, though, there's a great outlet for games that should get sequels. You got Shenmue 3. I never played Shenmue 2, but Shenmue 1 was really awesome, even if it was a lot of forklifting and QuickTime events.
Yeah, Shenmue 2, not so much.
Yeah, I never played it really. I've heard some reviews on it, but I doubt I'll ever get around to that one.
What about Quest 64? If we had, like,
What about Quest 64?
what if we made like some sort of sequel, be like Quest Wii U?
I think
Oh my
was-
god.
I think I had heard that there was supposed to be a sequel for it, and it just never happened. I think it was during that time when some games that were supposed to come out that never did, like that Earthbound-ish game that was supposed to come out for N64 but never did.
Earthbound
Oh,
64?
Earthbound 64.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Earthbound
it was supposed to
64?
be Mother 3.
Yeah, it was kind of like Mother 3, if not supposed to be
It
Mother
was supposed to be Mother 3, but then they decided to just do it on the Game Boy Advance for whatever
Yeah,
reason.
because I think that was during the time when Nintendo had that short-lived disc drive too, which is how Sony came to be because they're trying to make a disc system, and Nintendo didn't want to work well with Sony, and that's how we got the PlayStation to begin with.
A disc drive would have been sweet. They were planning DLC for Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, but that never really. I mean, you can still get the disc drive though. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I imagine it's out there somewhere, but you can never get the full Ocarina of Time game that they wanted.
Well, who knows? I heard didn't they do for like the 3DS version? Didn't they just do Ocarina of Time, but they mirrored everything? It was like all in reverse or something of the sort. That's what I heard, at least.
That sounds familiar.
That like all the towns were mirrored
I
around.
think you're thinking of Twilight Princess. Because I know for sure for the Wii version they mirrored that, because Link is normally left-handed, so they mirrored it so people would use their right hand to swing the sword and stuff.
Oh, that makes sense.
All they did was flip the whole game over, yeah.
That's all you gotta do sometimes.
That was one of those executive decisions where 90% of the populace is right-handed, so we can't everybody try to use
I
their
don't
left
understand
hand.
why they didn't just flip Link over.
So
I don't remember. It's been a while since I've played the game, so I don't remember if that's actually true that they flipped everything. But I remember hearing a lot about that.
Yeah, I heard about that too, but I've never played the GameCube version of it, so I'm not sure if that...
Yeah,
I've
they
only played-
did flip it because my second cousin had a GameCube version. I had the Wii version. They were flipped.
Oh, well, there you go.
There you
You know
go,
what?
myth busted.
Nope. Well, I guess this kind of applies to a particular game, but growing up, I played a lot of beat 'em up games for the Super Nintendo, like Streets of Rage, or not Streets of Rage, it's Genesis. Final Fight in particular. And, they brought Hager back for the Marvel vs. Capcom 3 game. I would love to see a new beat 'em up like that. I mean, they're so mindless, but I know they tried to, redo Turtles in Time for the Xbox Live Arcade. It's probably for the other systems as well, but it just looked like complete crap, and I heard that it controlled really poorly. I would just like to see a really awesome beat 'em up game like that. As for the PlayStation 2, I've got a game called God Hand, which is a really awesome throwback to those kind of games. And man, I just remember all the hours I used to spend, from probably 5 to 10 years old, playing those with my brother. They were just so pointless, but so much fun.
I think another game that should have gotten a sequel that didn't was Rogue Galaxy.
That was a game I returned. Or no, wait, I didn't return that. I sold it. Never mind.
What are you talking about? That game was awesome.
I just couldn't get that big into it. I don't know.
Yes,
I guess I just wasn't in a really big RPG phase at the time, but I had seen it everywhere, and I just got it. And
yeah, it was cornballish. I will give you that.
it just didn't look like anything special. I mean, it was probably a solid RPG if I would have given it more of a chance than I did, but I don't know. Just nothing about it stood out to me.
Yeah.
I would like to see a Silicon Valley 2, but there was no room for them to make one in terms of, where could they go with it.
Yeah, that whole game looks like it's half done already. It's just
It's
bizarre.
a great
to look
game,
at.
though. I would have loved to see a second
There are,
one.
severed heads and other weird stuff in that game. It just doesn't add up. It's just, bizarre.
Although, just so people don't leave it in the comments, I'm aware there's a Game Boy version, but I'm 90% sure it's the same game.
It probably is.
Alright, since my last remnant is invalid, I would like an Omega Boost 2 game.
Also invalid.
That is valid. That's the
It is your
PlayStation
choice,
1
Dylan.
game.
No one knows what that is, Dilly. What's
Why do
Omega Boost?
Why do I know games that you guys don't know? Aren't you guys like the old retro gamers and everything?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we play classics.
Yeah, we play good games. That's the difference.
Tell us Tell us about Omega Boost, Dilly. We're interested now.
Yeah, you can change the world here if you give it a really ravishing review. The whole world might love this game now.
Well, I'll tell you right now, it has Steve Blum as a voice actor. It had a live action intro for during the game. It was a really cool live action intro.
Are you saying there's full motion video in this game, Dilly?
There is. They did a
Oh
live
my
action
god,
full.
that's sacrilege.
No, it's a 3D space shooter game. You're in a big freaking robot and you fire missiles and you go back in time to stop the core from like over melting or something. It was just a fun 3D space shooter.
It's hard to explain, but it's a fun 3D space shooter.
I don't know how to explain it other than it was like Robotech, but you couldn't transform, and it was like a 3D scrolling because it was very linear. You couldn't go anywhere or do anything. The only voice acting after the intro was Omega Boost. It's all good. Carry out the mission carefully, and then you started playing and murdering lots of things.
It's better than Star Fox, where you just had good luck and then rabble. I can't hear you. Not coming through quite clearly there.
Didn't General Pepper say do a mission briefing?
No, he just sits there with his sunglasses on and he just like. I don't even think he does.
He's talking about the original Star Fox.
Oh.
Yeah, we play classic games, Dilly.
I saw an N64. If you say the N64 window,
I mean everyone
reach
knows N64
through this
first.
computer.
There we go. Let's just talk about that. A game that deserves a true sequel. And we've talked about Star Fox before, but that game, seriously, I cannot believe that at E3 they did not announce anything for Star Fox.
That was the last good Star Fox game.
It would have made a lot of sense that if they couldn't. I wouldn't have expected them to come up with they are doing a new Mario game, which looks too much like the old Mario game. And I obviously wouldn't expect them to do a new Zelda after Skyward Sword just came out last year. But I would have loved to see like a major franchise have a title. Even a new Metroid game would have been great. I can't believe they let that slip like they did. Because that would have really done it for people to get the Wii U if they would have had a major franchise.
What?
Game.
Metroid? Zelda? Oh, I'm down.
Well, at the same time, people have been disappointed if they didn't have their Mario for the Wii U right away.
That's true, but
even if it is a rehash of the same game that they just came out with the new Super Mario Bros. Wii.
Yeah, I guess they have a tradition to uphold, if you will, even though we had Luigi's Mansion for the GameCube. But
is there a Luigi's Mansion 2?
Coming out on the 3DS.
They're supposed to be.
Okay. I was going to say, maybe they should make a sequel to that, but if they are...
I don't count handheld sequels. That just doesn't count for me.
Well, they've got to keep that handheld market alive because they're easily, on top right now. And let's see, I mean, there's the Vita, which who knows how much more PlayStation is going to put into that. I mean, they're coming out with that.
They're putting money into the PlayStation Move. I doubt it's going to go anywhere.
Well, the move might as well have been dead from the get-go. The Kinect.
How long have they had like the iToy? Remember they had the iToy for the PlayStation 2?
No, I don't even.
Are you serious? It came out quite early with the PlayStation 2. Maybe it was during the second gen PlayStation 2, but they had the iToy forever.
Yeah, didn't it come with some sort of card game or something like that? I never got into it there.
And they had there was one game where you bounced balloons or something. It was very mediocre, and for babies basically, like toddlers. If you could.
The only reason anyone ever actively bought it is just so they could do a face scan of themselves to put in their sports games as their created players.
Yeah, it wasn't anything spectacular. So yeah, I doubt the PlayStation will get rid of the handhelds. For the amount of money that they have put into just the iToy and the Move, the PlayStation handheld isn't going. I can't wait to see if Microsoft will ever put out a handheld.
That would be interesting to see a Microsoft handheld system.
I mean, what do you guys think it would be like? You think they would copy the 3DS and the PlayStation Vita and put it into one?
I think it'd be very generic.
Probably.
Yeah. Be like a little mini Xbox you carry around.
Something that you can play more first-person shooters on.
We have Gears of War 3.2.
Woo! There was a Gears of War prequel coming out.
Who cares?
Yeah.
You guys ever play Gears of War?
Yep. Well, for a bit of it, and I was like, okay, this is lame.
I'm sorry, I have more quality things to do with my time, like stare at this wall.
Look at that paint dry.
I'll be right over here.
I
You know-
actually liked they had the Horde mode in, I think it was Gears 2. Or 3, I can't remember now. Yeah, I think it was Gears 2. It was really good, you know?
You know what I want to see? I want to see a sequel to Plants vs. Zombies.
That would be awesome.
Isn't that a new game as well? Didn't it come out a couple years ago?
Plants vs. Zombies? No, it's pretty old. It's been out for like 3 years, at least,
Oh.
I would say.
Oh, but The Last Remnant is too old.
That's right.
Screw you
invalid.
guys.
Remember, we're
Valid.
focusing on good games, Dilly. Good
You
games
don't
is the keyword.
exist. You're just a figment of everyone else's imagination.
You can go to hell. You can shut your dirty whore mouth anytime you like.
I'm sorry, Dave. I can't do that.
Come at me with a Space Odyssey 2001 insult. I don't know what to do now.
I don't know whether to laugh or cry.
Sure, what just
Laugh
happened
because
there?
it's funny, or cry because he has absolutely no idea what he's talking about.
That game was awesome, and I'm not a big fan of tower defense games, but that game was more or less a tower defense game, but man, was it addicting. But it was so... The story mode was really easy. Some of the mini games were more difficult to get the achievements, but overall, I mean, it was kind of easy, and I would love to see them just step that up, include some new stuff in it, and just do like what they did with a lot of games now, where the sequel is not a far cry from the original, but they just tweak it out a bit and really polish it nicely, like a nice polished turd, you know.
Do you know who does a good job at making sequels?
Who's that?
Ubisoft. If you've ever played the Assassin's Creed series, just from like 1 to 2 to Revelations,
Well,
like it is amazing the way the game progresses, and yet they still keep the old style.
there's a reason they won E3. I mean,
It's a funny thing you mention Ubisoft. Just a fun fact for y'all. My Team Fortress 2 team, our engineer actually works for Ubisoft, and he was present at the E3 conference.
oh yeah?
Yep.
Nice. Yeah, well, if you're really smart at those conferences, you'll probably load up half the seats with your employees, so you get the kind of reaction you want. Unless, of course, Usher comes out on stage, then you'll get no reaction whatsoever. But
Everyone get up. Fuck you. I'm not getting up for
I'm not
anything.
going anywhere, all right? We're sitting right here on my lazy ass.
I'll spill my drink.
And
Very good.
we all become quiet when Beidou talks. That's appropriate.
You're quiet because you were doing something over there.
Yeah, we don't know what you were doing.
He was masturbating.
Yeah, that's the obvious conclusion.
I'm not Uto. What are
The
you
only
talking about?
conclusion.
Stop
I'm-
constantly masturbating.
Anything right now. It's not from my end.
You sound
Is
like
it
you're
in
falling
the other
asleep.
No,
Terrible.
She's terrible.
Everything.
I was cleaning the screen of my iPad, so
Well,
you guys-
now it's not time to be cleaning your screen.
What do you need a
it's
clean
so
screen
filthy. Why do you need a clean screen? To see shit.
for? What, we're just talking.
I'm surfing the web, looking for stuff to talk about, looking for facts.
You know,
Everything.
you know what I
Fact-
wanted? You know what I wanted? I wanted a new Mario Party that's in the same vein as the old Mario parties, like the
Mario
first
Party
3.
9!
Screw Mario Party 9. That was crap. That was crap. What I want is something like, have you guys ever played Sonic Shuffle for the Dreamcast before?
Mm-mm.
I never played
That was an awesome game. It was shitty from the standpoint of that it was a complete rip-off of Mario Party, but what they did right with it was that even if you played a Dreamcast before, you might be aware that they had VMUs as their visual memory units, as their memory cards for it.
Yeah.
And you would stick one of them in so you could see the screen. And instead of rolling a dice, you had cards, and each card had a number on it, and I think there were a couple others that were lucky or bad, and you could see what cards you had. So you could select what card you wanted, or you could randomly take someone else's card if you wanted to risk it to move a certain number of spaces, because you had to land on stuff with a specific number of spaces. And I thought that was just awesome. And it would be really cool if they did something like that in the next Mario Party, the next one they have for the Wii U, hopefully, because we got this giant-ass gamepad to play around with now.
So you want them to rip off of the rip-off.
Yeah, rip off
There
the
you
rip off.
go. Yeah.
We own Sonic now. Sonic is nothing without us.
Sonic is nothing with us.
Also true. But he had it coming. You knew what he was doing. Knew what he was up against.
I think it's like when they realized what a mistake it was trying to put Sonic, a classic 2D side-scrolling hero, into a 3D environment. They just realized, you know what? Screw it. We're just going to make a game that has fucking both of them. So people can pick what they want.
Did you guys ever play, was it Mario Olympics, something like that?
Yeah, I played it briefly.
What was your impression?
I had played a lot of Olympic-style games like that for the Dreamcast before, and probably for some other systems. Good old track and field, of course, for the NES. And I thought it was just like any of those. No better, no worse.
What about that game you played for the Game Cage, which I don't remember, the athletic one?
Oh, the Nintendo.
Guts.
Guts?
Yeah. Nickelodeon, not
You
Nintendo.
got it?
Nickelodeon Guts. Do you have it? That was terrible. I went back. You can watch a few episodes on YouTube. I went on YouTube and started looking up episodes like, they're not doing front flips and grabbing onto metal poles with their bare hands and climbing them without the use of their feet. I feel ripped off. They are still running into walls, though, which is nice. Oh, that's the best part of that game. They run faster than the screen will carry them. And then, bam, just hit a wall. And then they got a life meter that doesn't mean shit. And then they cross the finish line and they collapse. Oh, God. I mean, and that's funny, too, because I originally intended that to be a game that I went into really enjoying, because I had some fond memories of it growing up. Good two-player game, at least, but, man, that was hard as shit when I started playing that one player. It had been so long since I tried to play it, too.
So what's a game you guys go back to, like, or okay, what is a game that you guys have gone back to, like, that you haven't played in, let's say, 5 to 10 years?
Harvest Moon 64.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I love Harvest Moon games.
Oh.
I'm going to say Digimon. Like, I just picked that up. I'm like, fuck, let's LP this. It's been years since I've played it.
Two of mine I keep going back to are Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy VI. Which Final
Have you
Fantasy
done
VI
that
is one
Natural
they-
Magic run?
No, I have not. I
I always go back.
Only
I
true
always
men
go-
can do it.
Only 2 ever. That's all that's been documented, so that must be true.
I said
yeah,
true men.
Oh, only the true man.
Yes.
true men indeed.
Competitive-
So I'll have to do
competitive
it there for you.
Credited man kneels before God.
But yeah, Final Fantasy VI is one of those games I think they should do something with. Like they've done the sequel for Final Fantasy IV. Now they did 7. They did a bunch of stuff with 7, and then 10 and 13. I think that 6 should get something.
Yeah,
Even
good
12 had
lord.
a sequel on like the game or the DS.
I mean, all you gotta say is you guys made Final Fantasy X too. Alright, now you owe me. Alright?
That's right.
I didn't buy the game, but you owe me anyway.
I
You're
honestly
talking
did not
a
think
shitty
that was
sequel.
that bad of the game.
Really?
10-2?
Yes. The combat system in that game was fantastic. I
Well,
don't care what anybody says.
they were dancing, and they were girls, and they were dancing, which is normally a good thing.
It's like, oh,
Not-
sure.
not in this case.
Let's play the first 5 minutes and think we judge the rest of the game.
That's what I do with games, Get ready. Get off my plane.
I actually played through X2, and was disappointed. I mean, I guess I wasn't expecting another 10 game, you know, but I still enjoyed it, but not enough to call it a really good Final Fantasy game.
Well, here's a question. Like, I always talk to people about Tactics, the original Tactics, not Tactics Advance. And it seems like if you play through Tactics, Tactics is like their favorite Final Fantasy game ever, or at least like top 3.
Yeah.
Like, where does Tactics sit with you guys in the grand scheme of Final Fantasy games? Because I know some people don't even include it because it's not a numbered Final Fantasy game.
It's the greatest Final Fantasy game ever made.
Okay, best game of all time.
Ever.
I wouldn't say that, but
It's definitely better than 7.
No, everything is better. The shit you took this morning is better than 7B, dude. Everything you did is better than 7.
Better than the first disc and a half. Although, just kind of on that note, I did take one of the biggest poops I've ever had in my life this morning.
Well, thanks.
Putting it out there.
That just
Yeah.
really made. Now no one will watch us anymore.
Do you have like handles in your bathroom that you can squeeze and it'd be like a really big dump?
No, I just kind of grab onto my knees.
Oh, you use your knees for support. Okay, dude, that's gotta hurt your knees though. You're gonna have like cartilage damage later on. You
Yeah,
better
we
watch
went from
that.
tactics to taking shits
Oh
in
my
no
god,
time.
yeah, back to Final Fantasy Tactics. I'd say that's in my top 5 Final Fantasy games.
I think that it's my top 5 shits of all time right there.
That's right.
If I had to
Have
label them, it would be 10, 4, and then tactics, and then 6.
I'll even put in tactics before 6. That's saying
Yeah.
something.
Okay, so does everyone here like love tactics? Like, do you agree that you'd play the game again if you ever wanted
Yes.
to?
Oh yeah.
I do frequently.
Have you guys ever heard about the like insanity community?
The instant. What?
No.
And it's this community. It's a forum to where they take games like Final Fantasy Tactics and games like in the Final Fantasy series, and they mod them to be insanely difficult. Like they're extremely hard. Like the first battle of the Orblon Monastery, everybody can use a Phoenix Down. Everybody has great equipment. They have great skills like counter and maintenance, and it's ridiculous. And like stuff, they took Elixir out of the game, and now like sword skills can be dodged, and it just looks like if you all agree that like you can break tactics very easily. It's not hard to break that game, but they take games like that and they make them truly hard to play and worth playing again.
No, they make them giant random number generator fests. That's what they do.
Right.
Well,
When you remove when you take a design and say I'm going to add this here, add that here, remove all this beneficial stuff to counter all the crap that you're going to thrown at you, and then say, well, now here, do this. It doesn't make it harder. It makes it a giant random number fest because you can lose a battle based on sheer luck.
Especially
That's
if you
how
do it right from the beginning there. That seems ridiculous to me. Like, right off the bat there, you're completely unprepared for this challenge. But, yep, you've got to do it here.
That sounds fun to me. It's not like you have to do it. It's a challenge. It's just like trying to beat Super Metroid in less than 2 hours at 100%.
yeah, but as long as you know where everything is in there and like the best ways to beat bosses, you can do that. I mean, that's legitimate.
Exactly the same way the Final Fantasy Tactics. It's just everybody
Above you.
If you know how to play the
reprogramming
game.
Yeah, if you're literally reprogramming the game, though, and why would you want to torture yourself like that? Just sit back and enjoy the game, as far as I'm concerned.
I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm a Dark Souls fan. I'm a Demon Souls fan. I like dying in games. I don't know what to tell
But
you.
Dark Souls isn't RNG.
No, but it's the same concept that it's an extremely difficult game, and the only reward is saying I beat it.
Well, yeah, that's like what I do. That's Ninja Gaiden. I love Ninja Gaiden. Battletoads. I've beaten Battletoads before.
You guys you jumped all over me. You're just like, oh, it's a piece of shit. I'm fucking random number generator.
So
Oh, God.
I'm just saying that you can't really compare Dark Souls to this mod because we're talking about skill beating one and RNG beating the other. That's kind of like bragging to a bunch of people because you won the slot machines, and they're like, oh, well, you didn't really do much. You just kind of won, and it's like, yay. Someone else talks, I'm just talking now.
It comes down to more
Yeah.
luck versus skill, is all that it comes down to. That's what we're saying.
Okay, but besides okay, fine. You guys win. I suck.
Good.
And without it.
That's right. Bow
You
out,
beat
Dilly.
Dilly, everyone. Congratulations.
Now come to an agreement.
I was like, Dilly gives his opinion, we give ours back, and he's all like hanging his head in defeat.
No, he's
Whatever.
not saying anything else.
I wasn't attacking you, Dilly. I was attacking hacks because they suck and they're designed by Hitler.
I don't even like to play hard games to begin with, honestly, and I love playing the NES, and the best video games for the NES are the hardest games for the NES. But, that's because that's their default setting. There's no way to change the difficulty to them. But,
Actually, speaking of that, I've been playing I Want to Be the Guy lately.
woo.
That was fun.
That's a game that's hard just because they designed it to be hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a trial and error game. When a game is too much trial and error, it just gets stupid. And I'll probably still enjoy it, but it's just
It's stupid, but I like it.
I love it. It's stupid, but it just
it's
makes
stupid,
me
but I
giggle.
like it. Like
It's
Dark
just
Souls.
a patience
Dark
test.
Souls I like to an extent, but it just I don't know. It doesn't have that NES feel to it. Whereas I Want to Be the Guy has that NES feel to it.
You just want the 2D side scrolling.
Pretty much. Much.
If Dark Souls was a 2D side scroller, you'd be all over that shit, dude.
Probably.
I want someone to make a Dark Souls 2D side scroller
There you
right
go.
now.
Challenge to all the viewers out there.
They made an 8-bit Final Fantasy VII. It can be done.
Have you seen that? The Chinese pirated version of that game?
It
Oh
might
my
actually make
gosh.
the game decent.
Yeah. Like the bee drills in it. They're literally the same sprites as bee drills. There's no getting around it. They are the same. It just,
Oh, look, there's a bee drill. Oh, look, there's a bee drill.
there's a bee drill. I'm gonna kill it with my Buster Sword.
Ooh, a bee drill material. I'm going to stick that on there.
You could use a bee drill, do you?
God.
Anyhow,
What's your-
guys,
What?
I think that's the end of it for tonight.
Are you serious? I was just getting into it.
Oh, well, you're done. Too bad.
What do you
It
mean?
took way too
You're
long to
done.
warm up.
Yeah,
done.
you peaked too late tonight, I'm afraid. Well, what do you have to say, Dilly? What do you have to say?
Get off my plane.
Get off my plane. Thank you, Harrison Ford in Air Force One. Anyhow, so any closing comments from anyone? Everyone can shout something randomly if they want.
I love hard games.
He just likes hard anything in them.
I love it. It's beautiful.
Something like that sort. I think
But
Utopia
you-
fell
There's
asleep.
foremost.
I have nothing to say.
Nothing to say at all.
Awesome. Well, thanks a lot for our special guest, Ryan Phoenix.
Oh, you know what I
It
just
was a
realized?
pleasure. It was a
We're not going to get our super awesome comments this week because Ryan Phoenix is our guest, so he doesn't have to actually watch our video.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
I'll
dang.
still comment for you guys.
Valid point. Valid
Oh,
point.
thanks for having me.
Well, it's a pleasure
It's
having you,
awesome
Ryan.
to be
We'll
here.
probably have you again at some other point in time. Go check out his channel, everyone. Ryan Phoenix. You can find it in my sub box or any of us other people's sub boxes. Really amazing video game player. He knows what he's talking about, unlike us most of the time. I'd like to thank everyone else: Dilly DV, G Genray, Uto Rai, B Dude, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, and myself, the Johnny
Remember-
Cage. I
remember
just like to
support-
thank myself. Yes.
Support the forum.
Support the forum.
Support the forum.
Go
Tell your
check-
mama and them. I said, how you doing?
and ask your mama how she's doing.
Yeah.
Compliments to Dilly. Anyhow, guys, that's it. Have a good day, good night, whenever you're watching this.
Bye.
Comment and like if you have not. We'll talk to you
Subscribe.
guys next week.
Subscribe.
Good night.